Okay, so have you ever had that feeling like you're so pumped for something big, you've prepped and you're ready to go, and then bam, something totally out of left field just throws everything into chaos?
Oh, yeah, totally. Life's full of those curveballs.
Right. And today, we're diving into one of those spectacular implosions. We're talking about Stephen McGrath's blog post, My Tully 10 Story.
Oh, this is a classic. A true gem of internet storytelling.
Yeah, it really is. And to add another layer to our deep dive, we'll be looking at it through the lens of some key concepts from English 2201. So we're not just going to hear about what happened to McGrath during this race. We're going to get into how he tells the story and why it works so well.
Exactly. Because even though it seems like just a simple personal account, there's actually a lot we can learn about the craft of writing by dissecting it. And by looking at it with these literary terms in mind, I think it helps us to see all those little subtle choices that he makes that really draw us in and make his misfortune so ridiculously memorable.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's a story that sticks with you. So let's set the scene, right? It's 2012. Stephen McGrath is in like peak physical condition. He's doing CrossFit, avoiding carbs, hitting the gym hard. He's at 195 pounds and decides, okay, I'm going to tackle the Tely 10. This huge 10-mile race in St.
Oh,
John's.
the Tely 10. Yeah, it's a big deal over there, a real source of local pride.
Right, like a real landmark event. And McGrath's goal is to finish in under 75 minutes. He's put in the work, he's feeling good, feeling confident. Little did he know.
Yeah, that confidence could be a dangerous thing sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you're about to eat 2 loaves of garlic bread.
Oh man, the pre-race meal. This is where things start to go hilariously off the rails.
Hmm.
So instead of, the usual pasta dinner, McGrath decides to follow some, shall we say, questionable advice he found on Google after being on this low-carb diet. The result is, well, it's a culinary masterpiece of epic
It's
proportions.
like a recipe for disaster,
Mhm.
served with a side of irony.
Totally. So we're talking 2 loaves of garlic bread, a giant bowl of cheese capelletti at Eastside Mario's, a bada boom, bada bing.
Right.
And then, to top it all off, 2 gas station turkey and dressing sandwiches. And his reasoning, well, he jokes that he got the go-ahead to eat like an absolute arsehole.
Oh man, that self-deprecating humor. He knows he's playing with fire and he's letting us in on the joke.
Right. And this whole detailed description of his food adventure, that's pure anecdote, a little story within the bigger story. It's hilarious, but it also kind of sets the stage for what's to come. Like we're already getting this sense of foreshadowing, like, uh-oh, this isn't going to end well.
It's so true. It's funny, but there's this underlying tension building. You're like, dude, what are you doing to yourself?
Exactly. And then comes race morning. Somehow, despite the previous night's feast, McGrath is feeling okay. He sticks to his yogurt and granola, still following that interesting Google wisdom. And he gets on the bus to head to the starting line. But before we get to the real chaos, he throws in another little story.
Another anecdote.
Yeah.
Oh, I love where this is going.
Right. It's a flashback to his grade 5 cross-country race. He was so sure he was going to win that he, collapsed in celebration before actually crossing the finish line. Which, of course, cost his buddy a bet they had going. It's just this funny little detour.
I love that he includes this. It adds so much to his character. Like, we see this pattern of his enthusiasm maybe getting a little ahead of reality.
Totally.
Oh,
And it's like a little hint, right, that things might not go exactly according to plan this time either. But okay, so back to the bus. It's packed with all these runners, the excitement is building, and then McGrath starts getting that feeling, that icky feeling. And it intensifies, rapidly.
oh, we've all been there. That
Yes.
sinking feeling that something's not right.
Yeah, exactly. So he asks the bus driver for a quick pit stop, points out that they just passed all those porta potties back at the starting point.
Oh, no. I bet that didn't go over well.
Nope. The bus driver's like, no time. We are off. And as they drive further away from civilization, that icky feeling turns into full-blown agony. McGrath is doubled over in pain, his seatmate is giving him the side eye, and he's having this whole internal debate about whether to, demand a stop.
It's like the ultimate test of social awkwardness versus bodily function.
Right. It's brutal. So right there, we have this clear conflict playing out. There's the internal conflict, his desperate need for a bathroom, battling his desire to not cause a scene. And then there's the external conflict, the bus driver who's just not having it, and the fact that they missed the exit for the race starting area. Talk about a pressure cooker.
Ugh, the tension is just building and building. You can feel his desperation.
And then miles from any open business, at 6 a.m. on a Sunday in an industrial park, it happens.
Oh, no, he did.
He did. McGrath shits his pants, and he doesn't sugarcoat it. He just lays it out there, plain and simple.
And the bluntness just makes it funnier somehow.
Yeah, it's like you're horrified for him, but you can't help but laugh at the absurdity of it all. And the mood, oh man, the mood shifts so drastically in that moment. All that pre-race anticipation is just gone, replaced by this wave of horror and
It's
humiliation.
like a punch to the gut, emotionally speaking.
Totally. And what he does next is just, it's unbelievable. He hides behind the steel structure, strips off his soiled clothes in the cold, barefoot, mind you. And there are thousands of other runners, just like blissfully unaware, nearby. What does he do? He calls his girlfriend, obviously in tears, and then makes the somewhat drastic decision to call an ambulance. Talk about resourcefulness in the face of utter despair.
Oh my God. I can't even imagine the level of shame and panic he must have been feeling.
It's a lot. But then, amidst all this chaos, there's this tiny moment of kindness. An employee at one of the nearby businesses sees him, obviously struggling, and offers him a garbage bag. Just this small act of humanity in the midst of this whole ridiculous situation.
Oh, that's sweet. Like a tiny flicker of light in the darkness.
Yeah, it's kind of heartwarming, right? It shows that even when you're at your absolute lowest, there are still good people out there.
It's true. And it kind of adds to the humor, too, right? Like, here's this guy literally standing in a garbage bag because he had a unfortunate accident, and someone's just trying to help him out. It's just so surreal.
Absolutely. And then the ambulance arrives, and just to add another layer of awkwardness to the whole thing, McGrath describes the paramedic as the most attractive female paramedic perhaps in the world.
Of course she was. It's like something out of a sitcom.
I know, right? And they even make a detour to a dumpster so he can dispose of his now infamous running gear.
The walk of shame, but in an ambulance.
Basically. And then we get to the hospital. It's not exactly glamorous. Scrubs, a bathroom with a towel dispenser that feels like sandpaper, and a doctor who, after examining him, delivers the diagnosis, "I wasn't meant to run the Tely 10 that day due to the sudden carb overload." Like, no kidding, doc. And then to top it all off, he has to leave the hospital in scrubs and those like blue boot covers.
Oh, man, that visual. It's the perfect ending to this whole comedy of errors.
It really is. So why, you might ask, would anyone share such an embarrassing experience with the world? Well, McGrath says he does it to make people laugh, to show that you can find humor even in life's most ridiculous moments. And he even throws in a final anecdote about the ambulance bill ending up in collections just to drive the point home.
It's so great because it's not just about the humor, right? It's about being vulnerable, about being okay with laughing at yourself.
Yeah.
And that really connects with people.
Yeah, totally. It's like he's saying, hey, life's going to throw you some crap, sometimes literally, but you can choose to wallow in it, or you can find the funny side and move on. And now let's put on our literary analysis hats for a second, because McGrath's writing is actually packed with these really interesting techniques. We talked about anecdotes, right? But there's so much more.
Yeah, like parallel structure. It's when he uses similar grammatical structures to create a sense of balance and rhythm.
Yeah. Like he might say, the sun was rising, the air was crisp, and the runners were gathering. You see how each phrase has the same structure? Subject, verb, object, and it just creates this nice flow. Or he might say something like, so young, so determined, and so foolish. Each adjective gets equal weight, which adds to the impact.
It's subtle, but it's really effective. And then there are transitions, those little words and phrases that connect different parts of the story and help it flow smoothly.
Right. Like he might say, so the next thing I know, or the morning of the race dawned. They're kind of like signposts guiding you through the story. And without them, the whole thing would feel really choppy and confusing. But where McGrath really shines is in his use of illusion. He's constantly referencing things from popular culture, movies, music, you name it. And it just adds this extra layer of humor and connection.
Oh, absolutely. Like when he says he was ready to run like I was Forrest Gump, instantly you get this image of pure running enthusiasm, maybe a little naive. And then there's bada boom, bada bang, the old East Side Mario's jingle. It's so cheesy, but it works perfectly in that context.
Totally. And the eat your heart out Michael Scott line, pure genius. Everyone who's seen The Office knows exactly what he's talking about.
And those illusions, they're not just funny. They also tell us a lot about McGrath's audience, right?
Yeah.
He's assuming we're going to get these references, which means he's writing for people who are kind of in the know, pop culturally speaking.
Yeah, it's like he's inviting us into this shared joke. And it's not just those big pop culture moments. He also uses more everyday allusions, like when he calls Alex Mitchell the athletic golden boy. We all know that type, right?
Exactly. And when things start going south on the bus, he cries, Houston, we have a problem. It's that iconic Apollo 13 line, and it just instantly conveys the severity of his situation.
Yeah, and with a touch of humor, too. Because, let's face it, his situation wasn't exactly life or death, but it sure felt like it to him at the time. And then there's that moment of pure despair when he yells, Father, why have you forsaken me? Like a full-on biblical meltdown.
He's going for the dramatic effect, and it works. It's so over the top, and that's what makes it funny.
And that really speaks to the overall tone of the piece, which is so conversational and humorous. It's like he's just chatting with you, telling you this crazy story. And he uses all this informal language like fat ass and kid and all those emphatic capital letters and exclamation points like not stopping for nutting. It just injects so much personality and really highlights his comedic timing.
Totally. And that colloquial language, especially the bus driver's thick Newfoundland accent, it really grounds the story in a specific place and adds to the authenticity. It's like you're right there on that bus with
Yeah.
them.
Exactly. And even when he's describing the most embarrassing moments, there's still this underlying layer of self-deprecating humor, which is honestly what makes the whole thing work. Because if he was taking himself too seriously, it would just be like cringy and uncomfortable. But because he's able to laugh at himself, we're able to laugh along with him.
It's so true. That humor is like a shield protecting us from the full force of the cringe, and it makes him so much more relatable.
Yeah, and I think that's a really important takeaway from this whole thing. It's not just about the story itself, it's about how you tell it. And McGrath is a master of using all these different techniques to create something that's both hilarious and insightful.
Absolutely. And what's interesting is that he's probably not even thinking about all these literary devices as he's writing. He's just telling the story in his own voice. And it just so happens that his voice is packed with these brilliant little nuggets of writing gold.
Yeah, it's like his natural storytelling instincts are just working overtime. And by understanding these terms, I think we can appreciate that artistry even more.
Absolutely. It's like being able to see the brushstrokes in a painting or hear the individual instruments in a symphony. It just adds another layer of enjoyment.
So, for you, the listener, I want you to think about a time when you experienced a personal disaster. Maybe not on the same scale as McGrath's pants soiling incident, but something that still makes you cringe when you think about it. How would you tell that story? How would you make it engaging, maybe even funny, for someone else to hear? What kinds of literary devices would you use, maybe without even realizing it? Would you throw in an allusion to capture a feeling? Would you use colloquialisms to add a sense of place? It's something to consider the next time life throws you a curveball, because let's be honest, it's going to happen.
Oh, it's guaranteed. But
Yeah.
hey, at least we can learn from McGrath's example, right?
Yeah.
Embrace the chaos, find the humor, and maybe even turn it into a great story.
Exactly. And if you want to experience the full, unfiltered glory of McGrath's Tely 10 saga, definitely go check out his blog post. You won't regret it.